people who have, non-fatty liver disease. So non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So what does that mean? That really means is that clearly means is that there is a lot of fat deposition in the liver, which is causing a lot of other problems, which we are going to get into. And how can we, and oftentimes what happens is that we associate fatty liver disease with alcohol consumption. More back in the days when people used to say, if you have fatty liver, then please check, please reduce your alcohol intake. What we are seeing now is even without having alcohol, people can get fatty liver disease as well. Okay, so that is what we are going to dive into today's session. And this session is very, very important because a big chunk of Indians today are suffering from non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So let's dive deep into that and let's find out the reason for that and what can we do to start to prevent that as well. And who am I? Hi, I'm Ruma. I am a certified fitness trainer, nutritionist, a women's fitness specialist, and specialist in exercise therapy from International Sports and Sciences Academy USA and National Academy of Sports Medicines USA. Very recently, I was recognized by the Government of India, awarded by Times of India and Economic Times for my work in the area of health and fitness. We are an organization called Navitai, and we help people above the age of 35 get fitter, healthier, and stronger so that they can give emotional as well as financial security to their family, and they do not have to worry about old age. They can they can dance past their old age. There is nothing called old age. They can continue to rediscover their youth as they continue to age forward. So that is what we do. And one of the major happiness and fulfillment we get is by seeing people how they in the middle age, when people are struggling with diseases, lack of fitness, body going out of shape. It gives us a great and an immense fulfillment to see people getting back in shape, getting their youthfulness and vitality as well. So with that, thank you so much for joining today. Let's talk about the non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and so number one, what is the function of liver? Let's start to understand that. Liver is an organ which is situated right here, somewhere around here, right below your rib cage. And liver does multiple functions for us and which aids in the entire digestive process. So our digestion starts from the time we take our food. It starts from our mouth, then goes through the esophagus, stomach, intestine, large intestine, and then finally we excrete it out of our body. And in this entire process, the liver plays a function. What the function that liver plays is it releases bile into the small intestine so that the food can get digested in our small intestine. And that is where in the intestine, this is digestive tract, that is where the food gets absorbed. Once it is broken down, it starts to get absorbed as well. So if liver was not functioning, liver was not providing the bile acid for the digestion of the food, then digestion would not be proper. So it plays a crucial role in the digestive mechanism. Not only that, liver also stores little bit of glucose in the form of glycogen. So whenever our glucose levels goes down, liver starts to release glucose into the bloodstream. And our brain functions mainly on glucose. Brain and the nervous system primarily needs glucose for functioning, and that glucose, whenever there is a need, our liver releases that glucose into the bloodstream, helping our brain to function and the rest of the body to function as well. The another thing that liver does, and that is why liver is so important, liver purifies the blood as well. Okay, if there are any steroids and impurities and whatever there is, it removes those impurities. So it is like it cleanses the blood as well. And down the stream, when it goes to the kidneys, again, the blood gets filtered and then it gets passed on as urine. So, liver plays a very crucial role in the entire process, and hence to maintain that is very, very important. Now, what happens? The problem today is that even if people have a liver disease, there is no symptom for the first stage of that. There is no symptom of that. And oftentimes it gets diagnosed when you go to the doctor. For some problem, they ask you to do some blood test, or they ask for a abdominal scan, and that is when we find out that there is a liver issue. Okay, so what can we do then? So what are the diagnostic tests that I'm just going to stay in the place where it is still preventable. Beyond a certain point, it's not preventable. There are multiple stages of liver disease. The first stage and the second stage is still preventable. So in the earlier stages, it can be identified by liver function test, liver enzyme test, as well as abdominal ultrasound. Now, when do you do that? Often, if you're not used to doing your blood test, your whole body test, full body test every year, please get into the practice of doing that. It's a good investment, and with just one annual health checkup, you will be able to identify whether there are any issues or not that needs attention. Okay, so that way you are ahead of the disease, and we can do something to prevent it. And later on, if it is not if it is left untreated, say for example, if it's left untreated, then it can get into fibrosis, cirrhosis, and I'm not going to get into detail of that. My job is to help you prevent the disease. I'll stay in the preventable side of the medicine, preventable side of the disease only. So the first stage is the non-alcoholic fatty liver. This is the first stage, and it is completely reversible. Now let me come to why does that happen, so that we know. Some of the symptoms can be, sometimes there will be pain, sometimes there can be digestive issues, sometimes you feel that there is fatigue, there is lowering of energy. It can happen when the liver is not functioning well, because if the liver is not functioning well, of course, the entire digestive tract is kind of compromised. Not just that, if the liver is not functioning well, what has also been said that it is a combination of what we call as metabolic syndromes, the metabolic disorders, obesity, diabetes, cholesterol, high triglyceride levels, all of these contribute, cardiovascular disease, all of these contribute to metabolic disorders. So this liver function, when liver is not functioning well, it has been shown to contribute to higher levels of cholesterol. It can lead to diabetes. Sometimes, it has been also claimed in some of the research papers that if the liver is not functioning well, it can lead to type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular diseases. And not just that, it can also lead to osteoporosis. Okay, so to maintain that liver is very, very important. But some of these conditions happen a little later. You may not even realize it, and it happens a little later. So the first thing that we need to do is take care of our liver. And how? So then, if I have to take care of the liver, how do I know what are the things that are contributing towards this liver disease? Okay, so let's get into that. Number one is body fat. Obesity has been identified as one of the risk factors of liver disease, and hence having our body weight in a perfect range. More than body weight, it's the body fat percentage, I would say. Lower the fat in our body, lower will be the fat in our in our liver as well. So lower the fat in our body, and it will help. So weight is not necessarily the measure. Oftentimes a person can be a huge big person, and we see people like those. We are in the health industry, fitness industry, right? We see huge people, but they have very little fat on their body. And so that is not a cause of concern. The cause of concern is when the body fat percentage is very high. Women below the age of 50, who have not hit menopause yet, should target to have their body fat percentage between 25 and 27. And if you're a man, 20% is a great number. 15 to 20% is a great number for any man to have. Any lower than that, it becomes very difficult to get there. With Indians, it becomes even more difficult, and you have to follow very stringent fitness routine if you are not genetically endowed. But 15 to 20 is a great number to have. Below 50, it will take you a stringent routine to follow. All right, so for men, that is a good range to be at. So body fat. And second is the amount of calories that we are intaking in our food. The kind of calories also matter. If the calories are coming from starch, sugary items, those are the things that can lead to fatty liver. Okay, so if the food is filled with, if the food lacks fiber, food lacks soluble fiber and vegetable fibers, then it can lead to fatty liver. So that is another area for you to look into. The third thing that leads to fatty liver is hypertension. If people who have hypertension, high levels of triglyceride, diabetes, these are also people at risk of fatty liver. So when you're getting your blood tested, check these also, because these can be a risk factor towards getting fatty liver. The other ones could be your, those people who struggle with sleep apnea. It has been shown in certain studies that sleep apnea could be a contributing factor towards fatty liver. So you see, there are multiple things to take care of. Oftentimes, we do not, prioritize sleep. With today's world, Netflix and Amazon Prime and Hotstar, in the night when we come back home after a very long, busy day at work, we want to relax. We want to relax in front of TV, right? That is one way for us to relax, but that is not helping us, because the moment we get into, and how many times have you gotten into binge watching? You finish, and nowadays they create the episodes in such a way that they'll leave a hook for the next one. And once you finish one episode, you want to watch the next one, what happened in the next one, and they keep you hooked. And before you realize it, you are up the whole night completing the full series, isn't it? But that is not helping us. Then that can also lack of sleep or having sleep apnea, which is a sleep disorder, can lead to any kind of sleep disorders, can lead to having fatty liver. So now non-alcoholic fatty liver is a disease which can be contributed towards the lifestyle that we have, the food that we eat, the exercises that we do not do, the sleep that we do not get, and the body weight, the fat that we have accumulated in our body is all contributing towards the non-alcoholic fatty liver. So it's not the alcohol, but it is the lifestyle that we are leading that is contributing towards that. And one of the very, a little concerning number is that 38% of Indian adults today suffer from non-alcoholic fatty liver. 35% of children are suffering from non-alcoholic fatty liver. It's not a great thing, right? I mean, if we as parents become healthy and we are aware of things that we should do and the things we should not do, then we are the parents who can guide our children as well. So, and hence it is very, very important that we understand what we need to do and what we should do. So then the next one is, what should we do? Ruma, now I understand what is fatty liver. I understand how important it is to maintain a healthy liver. Now, and I understand what it can lead to. Then what can I do in order to preserve my liver? So let's talk about the things that you should include in your diet. Yeah, shall we get started with that? That is my area of expertise. So let me, instead of giving you all the sad story, let's come to the happy stories through which you can start reversing your liver disease. Now, if any of your family members, this is, please help us in spreading this word. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is spreading in India, and you can stop the spread in India by including your family members in this discussion as well, your friends and family in this discussion. So you can share this link with your friends and family so that they know about this and they can prevent themselves, they can safeguard themselves against fatty liver diseases. Okay. All right. So then the first one. So what are you going to change? What can we change in our lifestyle? Number one is hydration. Drink plenty of water. Yeah. And it helps to cleanse the entire digestive, it aids in the digestive process. So what is the good amount of water to be taken? Can you tell me in the comment box? If you are from my community, if you are already in our program, what we recommend is 2 to 3 liters of water. If you're above the weight of 70 kgs, you need minimum 3 liters of water in a day. Anyone below 70 kgs, you need 2 to 3 liters of water every day. And do not be a one-time wonder. Wake up in the morning, drink 3 liters of water. Spread your water intake throughout the day so that it can continue to aid in the digestive process, as well as help us in detoxifying, cleanse the entire digestive system as well. So that is number one. Number two is have soluble fiber. Where do you get soluble fiber from? You have oats, the grains, the millets, ragi, rawa, jawar, bajra. All of these are great carbohydrates that can be had, which have soluble fiber in it. And that helps to keep our digestive process well. So if you are someone who has been having a lot of rice, maida items, sugary items, move away from them into more complex kind of carbohydrate, which is more high, which are higher in soluble fiber. Oat, ragi, rawa, jawar, bajra, millets, any of those will work great for you. Also include a lot of fiber in your food. And what does that mean? So you get soluble fiber and you get insoluble fibers. The second kind of fiber that we can have is from the vegetables. Have plenty of vegetables in our in your meals. Every meal should have 1 cup of salad, and every meal should also have 1 bowl of bhaji. Okay, any bhaji that you like, and it can be any vegetable which you like, which your family likes. It doesn't have to be separately cooked for you. And when you are having this kind of a meal, which is complex carbohydrate with enough fiber, your entire family, your children, your parents, all the people around you will start becoming healthier and healthier, and they will also start to decrease the risk of non-alcoholic fatty liver, cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, cholesterol, hypertension, all of them. So this becomes like one person does it, make it like a family package, so that your entire family can become healthier and fitter just like you. 2 more things to add in your meals are garlic and onion. They will help in the entire digestive process and will help your liver health as well. Garlics and onions. Onions you can have in the salad, and garlic, the one way to have garlic is mash it up and gulp it down with lemon water. It's not only a detox, it's a good immune booster as well, and it is great for your digestive health as well as your liver health. Have plenty of berries. These are antioxidants, and they can help to eliminate the toxins from our body as well. So berries, strawberries, blueberries, whatever, gooseberries, the berries that we get in India, please have plenty of them, and this will help you. Now, this is the food part of it. One thing that we have to start working on is reducing our body fat percentage. The moment we start reducing our body fat percentage, the alcoholic fatty liver will also come down. Now, if you have any questions, you can start posting it in the comment box. If you or your family members are struggling with any kind of any problem, I'll be happy to take your questions. Start posting it from now itself, because the questions that you post, and by the time I read it, there is a time delay, and I may end up not answering your questions because I may not see it itself. I do not want to miss your questions, so start putting it from now itself. Okay, now, how, if you have now, in order to reduce body fat percentage, what are the things that we can do? Number one is food, and I have already covered the food. You need to have fiber, you need to have good quality of carbohydrates, and you need to have protein in every meal. When you include that, it will not only help you reduce body fat percentage, it will help you reduce inflammation from the body, it will help you reduce diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, cholesterol, blood pressure, all of that from your body as well. So if you have this kind of an eating pattern, 1 salad in every meal, 1 protein in every meal, 1 grain, which is not a rice, any grain, ragi, rawa, jawar, bajra, millets, any of them, if you can incorporate that, this will help you in, it's so simple. Oftentimes we lose the simplicity when we talk about health. Health is very, very simple. We just need to follow a few very fundamental basic principles and you'll just be fine. So that is number one, eat right. Second is exercise enough. So 30 to 40 minutes of exercise per day, moderate level exercise per day, has been recommended by World Health Organization. And if you do that, you will be good. Now, what comes under exercise? Anything which raises your heart rate is an exercise. Walking for the first 6 weeks is great, but after that it doesn't help. It will not help you in reducing your body fat percentage. Please go for a walk, because that is a time when you get to be outdoor. But if you've been walking for more than 6 weeks, please now start including a little bit of a jog, a little bit of faster walk. That will benefit you. Okay. The great way to start reducing body fat percentage is by doing strength exercises. Strength exercises help us build muscle, and when you build muscle need energy for maintenance, and that energy comes from the stored fat. So you will be able to, by building more muscles, you will be able, and by eating well, sleeping well, drinking enough water, you will be able to start reducing body fat from your body as well. So this is, these are some of the tips that some of the things, strategies that we work with people in our community. And if you're someone who would like to get coached by us, who would like to start your journey of health and fitness, reclaiming your youthfulness, vitality after the age of 35. And what happens after the age of 35 and 40? I'll tell you. Okay, I am 50. My husband is 55, 50, he is 56. And what we started noticing after the age of 40 is that belly fat, okay, body goes out of shape. And you start thinking, Arey, I'm only 40, I'm not like 70 or 80. Why is my body changing at such a fast rate? And the youthfulness that we used to have, we don't feel that anymore. And sometimes, standing in front of the mirror, we just at 40, I look like this. So, at 40, we should still feel very youthful and graceful. What also happens after 40 is that a lot of these conditions become metabolic disorders start to appear around the age of 35, 40, because muscle percentage is going down, bone percentage is going down. And with all of this, type 2 diabetes, cholesterol, blood pressure, these becomes diseases of the middle age. So we have to, and when these diseases come, they can lead to something very fatal. And when we have children, we are often worried about the security. Our children do not just need financial security, not just the money that we earn, they also need the emotional security. And we worry about, and I'm sure each one of you have many aspirations in life, right? We will be retiring in some time, and we want to enjoy all the experiences that we have, that we can get at any age. So we need to be fit, we need to be mobile, we need to, at the age of 60, when I retire, and I have all the time in the world to get around to places, do all the things that I want to do: surfing, paragliding, snorkeling, scuba diving. At that time, if we complain of knee pain, back pain, what is going to happen? Am I going to enjoy life, or will I just start surviving at that time? So if we have to start enjoying life at any age that we are in, then we need to have that vitality, that youthfulness. Age should not be a factor for us to enjoy life. And we can do that when we invest in our health and fitness. If you're someone who wishes to be coached by us, the link is below. Please join the next masterclass and we will be happy to work with you. All right. So with that, I'm here to take any questions that you have. Let's see. Shweta has. All right. Thank you so much for all your questions. Glad that you could put in. Hello, Manisha, Geeta, Soni, Shweta, Deepa, Jayashree, Smita, Lalita, Harini. Yes. Awesome. Great. So grade 2 fatty liver. Again, if you are someone who is struggling with grade 2 fatty liver, whatever I just shared is going to help you. And if you're already a part of our community, then you get the right guidance from time to time. And this is something, and what I will recommend, that if you are having grade 2 fatty liver, then you need to continue to monitor some of the things. Number one is your body fat percentage, diabetes, cholesterol, triglyceride levels, what are they? Cholesterol, diabetes, blood pressure. So please monitor these and keep these under control, because each one of them, fatty liver, non-alcoholic fatty liver, as well as the other conditions are all metabolic conditions. So either you're not sleeping well, or you're not exercising right, or you're not, you have high body fat percentage, or you're not eating right. Somewhere, some of the element is missing. So we need to go one step at a time. First look at the nutrition that you're getting. Are you following all the protocols? Look at your water intake, look at your sleep, look at the exercises that you're doing versus not doing, and look at your gut health and sleep and stress as well. Is the stress levels too high? Because if the stress levels are high, then that can also impact your body fat percentage. And body fat percentage, of course, it creates an inflammatory response, and then that can result in fatty liver as well. Okay, so all of these things have to be noticed and maintained as well. Hope that helps. All right, I think, is wheat okay? Wheat is perfectly fine, Harini. Emmer wheat is fine as well. Okay, I think I missed that question. Yes, emmer wheat, these are all fine. Any grain, unless you have any other condition that you have been diagnosed with, where some of these things are not okay, it's perfectly fine. Emmer wheat is good. Some of the grains which are great are wheat is good, ragi, rava, jawar, bajra, all kinds of millets, amaranth, oats, quinoa, these are good as well. Okay, so you can have that. All right. Anytime, Shweta. Okay, so I think I've come to the end of today's questions. But please feel, if you're someone who is watching, and yes, those people who are watching, thank you so much for joining. And what you can do is, if you want to read in a little bit more about this thing, which more about non-alcoholic fatty liver, and it has been written in a very readable, understandable format. So you can grab the India Today edition of last week. Today is what? I think this was on 28th of February, 23rd of February. You can grab hold of that 3rd March, 5th March. Yeah, 23rd of February. Grab hold of that India Today, and you can read. They have written it in a very lucid. There are some very understandable language, so you can go through that, and it's quite detailed as well. So it has when I was going through that, I saw all the research work that was done, the scientific statements that were made, and they were perfectly fine, and you can just go through that. And please do share this, because this is fast spreading in India. Your family members need to know, people that you love and care for, and people who care for you need to know. So please keep spreading it around your friends and family as well. Okay, so with that, thank you so much for joining in, and I will see all of you soon next week with another such important topic.